I spent 10 years building a life out of silence and sawdust. They say you can't run away from your problems, but they never tell you how far you can get if you just stop talking. I am Elena, and 3 months ago I was the police haul my older brother away in handcuffs from a mountain cabin he thought he'd inherited. He had not. He'd stolen the piece I spent a decade carving out of the Oregon wilderness, and in doing so, he gave me the one thing I never thought I'd have again, a clean slate. The core of this mess was not money. Though that's what the lawyers focused on, it was envy. It started in 2012 in a drafty Victorian house in Seattle. I was 22, working two jobs as a furniture restorer and a waitress, saving every nickel to buy a workshop of my own. My brother, Marcus, was 35, a high stakes corporate consultant who lived in a glass high rise and viewed my life as a series of failures. He did not see the $90,000 I tucked away in a high yield account. He just saw the sawdust under my fingernails and the beat up truck I parked down the street from his parties. Every Thanksgiving, the script was the same. Our mother would praise Marcus' latest bonus, while our father would ask me when I was going to get a real career. Marcus would lean back, sipping expensive scotch, and offer me piety sift, filling papers at his firm. I stayed quiet. I let them think I was struggling because in my world, if people think you have nothing, they don't try to take what you have. Then come the winter of 2015. Marcus' firm collapsed under the weight of a federal investigation. He did not just lose his job, he lost his reputation. I remember the night he showed up at my tiny workshop, smelling of desperation. He did not ask how I was. He asked for my signature. He wanted to use our family's ancestral land, 100 acres of prime timberland in the Cascades, as collateral for a new guaranteed venture. Land was I refused. That land was the only thing our grandfather left to both of us, with a strict clause that neither could sell or encumber it without the other's consent. Marcus exploded. He called me a weight around the family's neck. My parents took his side, claiming Marcus was a visionary who just needed a win, while I was being selfish, stagnant. When I would not budge, my father told me, leave and not come back until I was ready to be a team player. So I left. I did not just leave the house, I left the grid. I changed my name legally to Elena Vance, moved to a small town in Montana, and used my $90,000 to buy a ruined homestead. For 5 years, I was a ghost. I built a business making hand carved furniture for high end lodges. I found a partner, Elias, a soft spoken forest ranger who loved the woods as much as I did. We built a life on honesty and hard work. Then an old family friend tracked me down. My father has passed away, and my mother was in a memory care facility. Marcus had spent those 5 years managing the family estate. He'd convinced my mother to sign over her power of attorney, and he'd been living in a lavish cabin he built on our joint land using a forged quit claim deed to cut me out entirely. I did not sue, I did not scream, I simply waited. I knew Marcus, I knew that men who build houses on lies eventually run out of foundation. Last month, I finally drove back to that mountain. I did not go to the cabin. I went to the local sheriff's office with my original deed and the record of my name change. It turns out Marcus had not just forged my name, he'd taken out massive construction loans from some very informal lenders to build his mountain masterpiece. He told them the land was his alone. When the bank came to foreclosure, they found me standing on the porch with the sheriff. Marcus was inside, hiding from men who were tired of waiting for their interest payments. He begged me to claim the debt was mine, to tell the bank we were partners so he could buy more time. He actually looked me in the eye and said, "Family sticks together, Elena." I looked at the brother who had erased my existence for a decade and said, "I am not Elena anymore, and you are not family. You are a squatter." The police removed him from trespassing for trespassing and fraud because the deed he used was forged and the loans he took out were technically personal, not tied to the land. He lost everything: the cabin, his cars, and his freedom. My mother's care is now paid for by a trust I manage far away from his reach. Today, I am back in Montana. Elias and I are expanding the garden. Sometimes people ask if I feel guilty about my brother sitting in a cell. I tell them that silence is a powerful thing. It can protect you or it can bury you. I choose to let it protect me. Marcus chose to let his envy bury him, and for the first time in my life, the only thing I hear in the woods is the wind through the tears, and it sounds exactly like freedom.